par excellence, the dramatist, the novelist, the playwright, the lyricist, the philosopher, the educator, the versatile genius was God's greatest gift to India, or in a way, to the world. He was a man, miles ahead of his times, and was a visionary in his unique and characteristic way. No author in the world has penned more literary works than he has, and he was a deeply spiritual man who was always connected to God. In one salutation to thee, my God, let all my senses spread out and touch this world at thy feet. Rabindranath Tagore wrote in Bengali, his mother tongue, but his works have been translated into almost all the languages of the world, and the English translation of the Gitanjali won him the Nobel Prize in 1930.
The Child. This is the only one of his poems that he composed in English first and later translated into Bengali. One evening he had gone to witness a passion play based on Christ, and after returning home sat through the night, too disturbed to sleep, and wrote this poem. This poem, named The Child, is about the pilgrimage of the people of the East when Christ was born. It features the dancers who represent the spirit of the people, the commoners, the beggar, the lame, the blind, the bride, the mother, and the teacher, all led by the holy man who remarks at the end in an enigmatic way, I had seen the star. So we now present to you a humble effort of ours to live up to the great creation of Tagore, The Child.
রাত কত হলো উত্তর মেলে না, কেননা অন্ধকাল যুগ যুগান্তরের গোলক ধাঁধায় ঘুরে। পথ অজানা, পথের শেষ কোথায় খেয়াল নেই।
The darkness in the valley stares like the dead eye sockets of a giant. The clouds like a nightmare oppress the sky, and the massive shadows lie scattered like the torn limbs of the night. Things are deliriously wild. They are the refuse, the rejections, the fruitless failures of life, abrupt ruins of prodigal pride, fragments of a bridge over the oblivion of a vanished stream. Sudden tumults rise in the sky and wrestle, and a startled shudder runs along the sleepless hours. Are they the cries of an ancient forest, flinging up its hoarded fire in a last extravagant suicide, or screams of paralytic crowds crushed by lunatic, blind and deaf? Underneath the noisy terror, a stealthy hum creeps up like bubbling volcanic mud. The clouds part, the morning star appears in the east. A breath of relief springs up from the heart of the earth. The murmur of leaves ripples along the forest path, and the early bird sings. man of faith amidst the snow-white silence. He scans the sky for some signal of light. And when the clouds thicken and the night birds scream as they fly, he cries, "Brothers, despair not, for man is great." But they never heed him, for they believe that the elemental brute is eternal, and goodness in its depth is darkly cunning in deception. When beaten and wounded, they cry, "Brother, where art thou?" The answer comes, "I'm by your side. The time has come." The time for what? For the pilgrimage. They sit and think. They know not the meaning, and yet they seem to understand according to their desires. The touch of the dawn goes deep into the soil, and life shivers along through the roots of all things. To the pilgrimage of fulfillment, brother, we salute thee. Men begin to gather from all quarters, from across the seas, the mountains and pathless wastes. They come from the valley of the Nile and the banks of the Ganges, from the snow-sung uplands of Tibet, from high-walled cities of glittering towers, from the dense, dark tangle of savage wilderness. The priests of all creeds chanting before incense, chanting verses as we move on. Teachers, mothers, maidens and brides with offerings of flowers and fruit. The maids and the crippled join the throng with the blind and sick. And they all cry out, "The fulfillment!" To the pilgrimage calls the young, to love, to power, to knowledge, to wealth overflowing. We shall conquer the world and the worlds beyond this. strikes a slant at the door. The assembled crowd feel aware that the primeval charms of creation. Mother, open the gate. The gate opens. The mother is seated on a straw bed with the babe on her lap, like the dome with the morning star. The sun's rays that was waiting at the door outside falls on the head of the child. The poet strikes his lute and sings out, "Victory to man, the newborn, the ever-living." They kneel down, the king and the beggar. The saint and the sinner. The wise and the fool. And cry,
"Victory to man, the newborn, the ever-living."
উচ্চস্বরে ঘোষণা করলে, জয় হোক মানুষের, ওই নবজাতকের, ওই চিরজীবিতে।
The old man from the east murmurs to himself, "I have seen the star."